Hey, what's up, mortals? It's Lindz here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. There are some items in it that are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. On July 15th, 2004, Izuka Midoriya is born. However, someone stares into an orb seeing Izuka smiling and saying he has finally been born. Only a little longer until he'll be ready. Hopefully I don't screw up this time because there isn't enough time for another. Izuka grows up like in canon, although something often doesn't feel quite right to him, almost like he's being watched. A year before the start of the series, Izuka is coming home from a cousin's home in another city, going to the train which he will then take to go home. Izuka is mumbling to himself while looking in his notebook, saying, I have to do more research on this new hero, Mount Lady. Her quirk seems like it is quite an aid in a big battle. Then stepping into the train and taking a seat without even looking up. Izuka is so fixated on his thoughts and book, he doesn't even notice when all the people on the train disappear. Izuka only notices something is up when he starts to feel the freezing cold, looking up to then notice no one else is there, just before being launched from his seat because of the train's sudden acceleration. Izuka flips upward, getting stuck to the ceiling, thinking, how am I up here sticking when the train has only gotten fast, hitting the floor before he could finish his thought. Izuka then gets up, feeling around his body to make sure he's okay. After a little checking, he decides he's okay. Izuka then hears an ominous voice shout, Come here! This shocks Izuka, shouting, Who's there? Getting no response. Although Izuka thought he should be frightened, he somehow wasn't, knowing that he was safe and no harm would come to him here. Izuka then walked out of the train, seeing a bunch of weird-looking things that shouldn't be possible, taking notes on them as quickly as he could, noticing that a glass bottle was broken, saying, Why is it broken? Izuka then continued on, all the while taking notes on the various weird things, until he walks into this huge room, seeing a man standing there with open arms, saying, I have waited a long time to meet you. Izuka then asked the man, Who are you? Where am I? What is this place? How is some of that stuff possible? I have so many questions. The man responds, They will all be answered in due time. For now, I will tell you what you need to know. I am the wizard Shazam. You are at the Rock of Eternity, which is the focal point of all magic. You have been foretold to become my champion. Izuka then stares at the man with a blank stare for a minute before snapping back to reality, saying, So you're like Dr. Fate or Constantine. The man smiles at the boy, saying, Similar, but not quite. I use magic like them, in the fact that I use magic. But unlike them, I defend magic. Izuka nods at this, saying, Okay, I somewhat get it. But what is this champion thing you talked about? Shazam says, A champion is my representative who goes out and helps me defend magic or people from magic with the power of the gods. Izuka replies, saying, Wait, so I get a quirk? Shazam quickly responds, No, not a quirk. Just power similar to a quirk in the power sense. Izuka freezes for a minute, starting to tear up, saying, Wow, how am I worthy of such a gift? Aren't there others that would be better suited than a quirkless kid like me? Shazam quickly replies with concern on his face, No, it must be you. Others have tried but have caused great horrors. This shocks Izuka, then saying, Have there been other champions? And if so, what did they do? Shazam stares at Izuka, starting to pace slightly with a methodical look on his face, stopping to then say, You're right, you deserve to know. A long time ago, there was a boy about your age. We chose him as the champion. He then shared his power with his uncle, but his uncle became power-hungry, killing the boy and taking the power for just himself. He then freed the 7 deadly sins. then pointing to the statue of the 7 deadly sins, who went on to kill millions, and the other wizards a part of the Council of Wizards. My brothers and sisters were gone, in the blink of an eye, leaving me to be the only one. So I looked for a new champion. After searching for some time, I conjured a prophecy which foretold of you. Izuka stares at him in shock, then saying, "What happened to him?" Shazam says, "I sent him to the farthest star in the sky, and someday he will return, and the new champion will have to fight him. Although, now that you know that, Izuka Midoriya, will you become my champion?" Izuka looks at the desperate look on Shazam's face, realizing he has to do this, no matter how scary he made it sound, replying with a simple, "Yes." Shazam then smiles at Izuka, stating, "Say my name, and my power will flow through you." With a smile on his face, Izuka shouts, "Shazam!" Before we get back into the story, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive is a channel based on a variety of anime lore. If you're interested in content like this, make sure you click the icon in the top right corner, or check the description below for a link to the channel. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the story. After shouting out Shazam, a lightning bolt came down on Izuka, transforming him into an adult version of himself with the power of the gods. Izuka looks at himself, stating, "What? This feels weird. Wait, my voice sounds different. What do I do now, Shazam?" The second Izuka says Shazam again, another lightning bolt comes down, transforming him into his original form. Shazam looks at Izuka with a smile, saying, "Now that you have my power, you will come back here tomorrow and we will train on what you can do. Although, know this, if you require my power, all you must do is shout out my name to transform into your champion form or your regular form. And now that you have my power, you're marked. Those with magic may seek you out for aid or who knows what. I will send you home now. But to come back, simply go to a door and think you want to come here, and walk through said door." With that, Izuka starts to fade, appearing outside his house with all his things, being excited for the days to come. The next day, Izuka learns who his powers derive from, which is Solomon, who lent him his wisdom, Hercules, who lends him his strength, Atlas, who lends him his stamina, Zeus, who lends him his power, Achilles, who lends him his courage, and Mercy, who lends him his speed, which, when combined, make the word Shazam. After that, Izuka trains with Shazam, or the wizard as he deems him, appearing periodically to save the day in his transformed form, being deemed Captain Thunder by the media. Side note, Izuka calls Shazam wizard since he doesn't want to keep transforming back and forth. Izuka, during this time, has had run-ins with plenty of heroes. He enjoys gaining autographs from them if they don't say, "You don't have a license, so I'm going to place you under arrest." But for those, he just ran or flew away, typically getting away without any force. The only hero Izuka had to do something to get away from was Hawks, who he shot lightning at and immediately saying, "Sorry, Hawks!" then zooming away before he could recover. With each encounter, Izuka became more adept with his new abilities, becoming more confident and sticking up for himself when Bakugo made fun of him. At the usual start of the series, Izuka is better built and more confident in himself. When he sees the battle at the train track with Kamui Woods, he transforms, then flying in and knocking out the villain in one hit before Mount Lady's kick landed, taking the credit for both of the two heroes, then leaving before the cops arrived. This leads to chatter in the crowd about who that vigilante was. Later, when Izuka gets threatened by Bakugo after class, instead of him backing down, he fights back, smacking Bakugo in the face, then running off. This leads to a slight chase where Izuka loses Bakugo by going to a dead end, and flies away after transforming, confusing Bakugo when he turns slightly after Izuka, all while shouting, "I'm going to kill you, shitty nerd!" Then looking in confusion at the dead end with no one in it. Izuka laughs in the sky, then flies off under a bridge to transform back, transforming right before a villain comes out of the sewer. This is the sludge villain who grabs him like cannon, stopping Izuka from shouting out Shazam, leading to Izuka grabbing at him, not as afraid as Cannon, instead being more determined. Izuka squirms, getting his legs slightly free before All Might appears, who quickly takes the villain down with a Texas smash. This leads to Izuka getting launched with pieces of the villain, getting caught by All Might before hitting the ground, not getting knocked out like cannon. This leads to a slight conversation between the two. All Might? Yes. Are you okay, boy? Nothing broken? Oh my god, you're All Might! I'm your biggest fan! Will you sign my notebook? Please? All Might smiles, calming down slightly, having some relief wash over him, replying, of course. After signing his notebook and noticing all the other heroes' signatures and notes, he says, boy, you need to stay back while I collect the villain. I don't know what kind of tricks he could pull out. Izuka agrees, saying, of course, sir, but I think your Texas smash took him out for now. Villains are tricky sometimes, because they tried to fake it to attempt to get away. But this time, it looks like you're right. After collecting the villain, All Might tries to jump away. This shocks Izuka, who then grabs onto him before he can jump like in canon. The events go the same as canon, since Izuka was told by Shazam not to reveal his power to anyone unless necessary. Side note, even his mom doesn't know about it. When Izuka sees the chaos going on in the distance, he thinks, All Might is wrong, but he doesn't know the whole picture, so I can't judge him on his opinion. He doesn't know how lucky I am. Then transforming and flying towards the smoke. Next time, Izuka will find out what the smoke and chaos is, fighting off the villain. And who knows? You'll just have to wait until next time. Thank you all for watching the video till the end. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to say before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video and the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the recruitment Discord in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. That's all from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit the like button if you like the video. Until next time, peace out, mortals, and have an amazing day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand.